Welcome, everybody, to Pick Central, Barstool Sports' daily gambling show. We are live on the Barstool Sportsbook YouTube channel. I am your host once again for today, actually for real is the final day. Brandon Walker on a flight back at 2 o'clock. I'm Ben Mint, joined on my left by the one, the only, the incomparable Marty Bush. How are you, Marty?
What's up, Ben? I got a lot of words for you today.
Okay. Well, we'll get Ev introduced, and I'm looking forward to. I don't know if I'm looking forward to it. That was an interesting tone of voice for a Monday morning. Big Ev joins us. What's up, Ev? How are you?
I'm hanging in there, Mincy. Survive and advance. This was one of those weekends where I didn't get like absolutely annihilated, but I'd say off the top of my head, like I'll call it like a 10 and 15ish type, where like just a lot of losers are falling in. Some close
tough losses.
You're scratching and clawing for some winners. You're down, but you're not out. I'm here. I'm alive. Today's a weird day because there are some conference championship games and stuff like that, but tomorrow is where it really like starts.
Yeah, today's kind of shit.
Yeah,
it's like
tomorrow it starts for real.
But yeah, like I was fine all weekend till yesterday. Yesterday was just brutal. 1-5. And I felt all 1 of 5. And I won my last one. Like, it wasn't even like I won one in the afternoon that kept me like I could be okay. It was like I won the last one of the day. It was Texas.
Just for like a bullet. You just have like I have a bullet.
Yeah, and I can't be doing this before literally the next month is my favorite time ever.
You're just getting the losers out of the way before the conference tournament starts.
That's all I need.
That's all it is.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. It's fucking college basketball's fucking crazy this year.
Nuts.
No, it is.
It's nuts.
It's nuts. All right, Marty, hit me with it. What's on your mind?
Fucking Minty is texting in the Pick Central group chat that he's undefeated with 1 game left. Obviously, he lost the next game after that.
And the next 3.
The next 3. He stunk after that, but now you're back. But I was like, this motherfucker is texting us. I was sweating 3 games at that point. We're all losers. That changed. And I was like, fucking Mincy's undefeated. He's going to – and then you knew you were losing that game, though.
Oh, yeah. No, I lost it. So that was Saturday. I started out 6-0 and got lucky as shit. The 6th was Ole Miss by 9 over Vandy, and Ole Miss didn't score the last 3 minutes of the game, and they won by 10 when it was 9, and they froze the ball the last 20 seconds. I was like, man, I'm just the luckiest dude ever. But of course, it's the Barstool way though. Ev, you talked about it to me. When you're hot, you got to chirp. That's how it works.
But for sure. But that's like a next morning. You walk in. I walk up to Marty, my chest out,
yeah. Like you see,
because he knows he saw.
Yeah, you know what I did.
You can't jinx yourself mid card.
That's kind of like calling a game early.
Exactly.
Similar.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I'm still learning here, but I lost that one, and then I lost 3 in a row to start my Sunday, so I definitely got it paid back. I got kind of lucky. I chased my money. I called myself out on a tweet yesterday on it, but I took Michigan State plus 300 money line and got all 3 of my units. I was down back yesterday. Michigan kind of laid an egg there. That was a pretty ugly performance.
You know what it was, though? They didn't really lay an egg. They didn't play great, but it's also playing your rival, and they played Friday.
Yeah, back-to-back on the road.
Or they played Thursday, and they played Sunday. It's just a weird – especially when it's your rival. It's not just like some random fucking
third
team.
game of the week, too.
Yeah, so it's like –
two teams had 3 games.
And Michigan State needed it so bad.
They're in now. I think
it was literally like them winning or losing was pretty much the difference.
I mean, they beat the number 2, 4, and 5 team when they were 4 and 5.
No, Michigan's a massive, massive win.
Yeah, so no, I mean that's just Izzo right there. But yeah, it's I think Michigan will be fine. They're 1 seed. Illinois, I think the 1 seeds are done unless unless Iowa wins the Big Ten and beats Illinois somewhere. That's the only. It's a weird. I think it's pretty solidified, but yeah, I think we got our 4 1 seeds.
No, I think you're right too. I think that's pretty much it. Iowa making a run would be the only I can't think of another team who you would say is like definitely deserving over. Like now, Illinois' resume is crazy.
Yeah, and like people are trying to put in like Houston. It's like no,
You can't. Like
They
their
should have. They
wins
got lucky as heck yesterday too. They should have lost. That was a crazy ending in that Memphis Houston game.
on both ends.
Should've.
Yeah, they both good shots.
Houston, like they should have fouled. The fact that they didn't foul and gave them a 3-point attempt like that was crazy.
Why didn't Memphis foul?
No, it was tied.
It was tied. Houston had hit a hard three. Like
they had a foul to give. They had a foul to give.
Did they have? If they had one to give, they should have fouled. I didn't realize if they had one to give or not.
Yeah,
I think it was tie game.
But I actually don't like the foul because like it's 1 second. If he fouls him and he ends up going up for that shot and you foul him in 3, I'd rather lose on a half.
Well, no, if you foul, it has to be like basically like the second they catch it, you just.
No, I know that's what I'm saying. Like I'd rather just lose on what they lost on. Saturday was fucking crazy too. Notre Dame just smacked Florida State like with ease.
Yeah, the line was too easy. I was on
Florida State.
It was too. It was one of those like the second the game tipped off, I was like Evan, what the fuck are you doing, man?
Oh no, I knew it.
You're
too.
so much smarter than this to take the sucker line on the road.
I also been like I was okay losing that rat. I was like, you know what? If the fucking they came out and beat the shit out of Notre Dame, like yeah, they fucking should have.
Exactly. No, I hear you. Like, no, it's 100%. Because if they had just blown him out, I would have felt like such a fucking idiot.
100%.
I want to ask you about Illinois, Ohio State. Just thoughts?
We just collapsed at the end,
State
man.
is
it's not good.
They just not,
we
honestly
the problem is
during this time.
The problem was especially we should have won the game. I mean, really, the big problem was I think just the very end we just took so many such bad forced shots where we just like didn't try to run any offense. No passes. It was basically just a guy like chucking a 3. I think Dwayne Wash, he got a little too trigger happy just taking all those threes when like this year he's hit so many of them. So I think it's hard to like, it's kind of like dying on the horse you rode in on. I get it. But I think honestly the bigger problem was EJ Liddell hit 2 like huge threes. And I think it kind of made everyone else, we were just up 5 with like 2 minutes left. And it just made everyone else so comfortable to just be like, all right, like we're going to keep chucking these threes and one of them is going to fall. And just none of them fell. For Dwayne, they didn't fall. For Justin Aarons, they didn't fall. It was just a bad collapse. I'm so worried because because that loss, we had an awful draw in the Big Ten tournament with a 5. Don't have the double bye. And then if we win that first game, we're going to have to play Purdue, who we've lost to twice already this year.
Yeah,
and I brought up on the show time and time again how we do not match up with them well at all.
You got to get some momentum back.
We have to beat Purdue. Like if we don't beat Purdue, we got to win the first game first. I think we play the winner of it's Minnesota and someone else. Whoever wins that game.
Just 4 in a row when we were number 4 in the country is not great.
Horrible. Like in our defense, it was to 3 legitimate top 6 teams in the country.
It wasn't
3 of those
bad losses. It's
just tough. Like and they all besides
this time of year.
The Iowa game were super close games that almost makes it worse.
Yeah.
But I'm very nervous about this. Like I feel like we're going to be in that prime spot where we're going to end up. I mean, if we lose Purdue, we're going to be like a 4 seed. And we were looking at a 1 like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, and then speaking of Iowa, that was the worst. That was one of the worst games I ever had to watch at the end of that game.
Horrendous.
So bad, dude. These refs are so annoying. All they want to fucking do is call hook and like that hook and hold. What are we doing here?
And the one foul they called on Trice to foul him out?
Yes.
He literally didn't touch the guy. No, that was insane.
It was
insane.
If you look from 2 minutes and 39 seconds, there was not one field goal made. But there was everything was free throws.
I just that 3-pointer just stuck out to me though because he literally
one, right?
He literally did not touch him.
Also,
like did not make physical contact with him. It was called for a foul to foul him out.
Did you see when Bohannon basically he's the one that knocked that out and the refs just looked at him like yeah it's Iowa ball.
Like didn't even like
it clearly hit the Wisconsin guy first, then hit Bohannon. I called Bohannon on the podcast. I was like, hey, did you hit that? He goes, what'd they call? I was like, Iowa ball. He goes, yeah. Then it was my ball. I was like, he wasn't saying shit.
I mean, I saw the stat. I think Jake posted it, Jake Marsh. What's his name? Bo Borowski, whatever the fuck you say his name.
Mm.
It's always crazy to me when you see stats like that egregious where as a team they're like
coincidence.
They're like 13 and like 3 without him and then like 2 and 8 when the guy refs. Like that's not a coincidence.
It's
like this guy's a sack of shit. Like something's going on. I don't know. I'm not saying he's like throwing games. Thank you, TJ.
And
so like something's happening.
The last 2 minutes took 20 minutes.
Especially, like you said, especially when you're just seeing that many just ridiculous calls down the stretch, like something's going on. Like I'm telling you, I keep saying the Trice one. I know there was like a few of them. I've just never seen, like I understand maybe like you see a bad angle. He literally didn't touch him.
I know.
And they just called a foul. Like I was like, it's literally Houdini. Like you're just making this shit up. I was like, we're everyone that's watching this game, we're human beings. Like we see you just made that call and nothing happened.
Bo Borowski's the Angel Hernandez of the Big Ten. Maybe of college basketball. He's horrendous.
Yeah, no, he's not great.
It's just like it's always bad when like now I didn't know his name before. Now I know your name. Like if you know a ref's name, that's very bad.
What do you guys think about Garza getting his number retired right after the game? So my take was that I'm a huge Iowa guy. I'm a Garza guy.
Oh yeah.
I don't think this has ever been done. The day the game ends, like I don't think Michael Jordan happened when that happened.
So either.
Like he just got like I know he's a legend there. It's like because it's also Iowa. It's not like there's like great players going there all the time. But like they couldn't wait till just like maybe next year or like a couple of years and then just retire it.
I mean, I think it's definitely weird because it's almost I feel like if you're gonna do that to him, he should have won like a national championship last year. Like that's like, for example, like I'll just pull from my own personal experience. Like when my first year at Ohio State was Zeke's the year after they won the national championship game, and he was treated just like an absolute god. And I understand like it's Iowa, it's different. Like this guy's like Iowa basketball's number one, and they're kind of hand in hand actually. Their basketball team's just been better probably, and Garza's just been so good. I get it. Retiring it after the game's a little bit like Marty said, like he wasn't Michael Jordan. Like he was very good. Especially this year, he was
Peter like already won
very
a national
good.
Championship in a past.
That's what I'm saying. Like
if
they won like a national championship last year, and then they had done like I would understand. I'd be like, all right, like this guy in Iowa is a god, and I get it.
Yeah, no, but what he's done for Iowa, yeah, and I think it's like he kind of put Iowa on the map recently because they haven't like been. You don't think Iowa's like a great basketball team without him, I guess. No. But also, I was like, you know what? Who the fuck's ever gonna wear 55 anyway?
Valid.
It's not like it's number 2.
No, I mean I don't care. Like I'm not sitting here being like, what the fuck are they doing? Like retiring his number. Like,
I'm like fine with it. I was trying to think. I don't think I've ever even heard of that happening. Like 20, like not even 20, like 10 minutes after the game.
No,
he gave a great speech. He cried. It was awesome, and he deserves it. But it's just I've never heard of that.
To be honest, I was flipping back so many games. Like I didn't watch after that. Like I didn't even know until I saw it on on Twitter and shit.
Yeah.
I got a quick question. How surprised are y'all Oklahoma State won at West Virginia without Caden Cunningham?
Very surprised.
Stunned. That's also what should make you realize
they're a good basketball team.
They're a national championship contender. They likely end Cunningham out. Not even just Cunningham, like likely to. That's insane. And West Virginia's not a schmuck either. Like they could fucking play.
No, for sure. I had the over. Especially once I knew it was gonna stay like a decent game. The over pretty much didn't change when he came out. The line moved quite a bit, but I also think that was more of even like a fan, public better overreaction. People being like, oh, like he's out, like just hammer him, like they're gonna get blown out.
That was like I posted my card and they're like, oh, Marty doesn't know shit. He probably doesn't even know Cade Cunningham. So I'm like, dude, that's like my favorite bet when someone's best player is out. You bet that team because they're trying to rally, like show that like they're a team without him. You know what I mean?
And the public always
smash it.
Rightfully
time.
so too. It's like the bet, and people are just learning about like, oh, Cade Cunningham's gonna be #1 draft because this is when people start learning about like the casual fan starts learning about everything that's happening, and it's like I don't know, but. Sorry, jumping around. I'm taking Kentucky plus 3,000.
We're gonna go over we're gonna go over the conference tourney odds, and it's funny you brought a smile to my face because I think I am too.
I saw their
draw is great. It's Mississippi State.
It's Mississippi State.
And then Bama's been a little.
Bama's
been a little flaky lately. They aren't playing as well as they were.
And if they beat Bama, they win. I don't think it's.
I mean, they get to the championship. I think.
I think no. I don't even. I think it's. Dunzo. If they beat Alabama,
I'm glad Arkansas's on the other side.
Arkansas is on.
They're the one that really.
They only could play them in the championship. That was the one team I thought I was scared of.
Me too.
Then I don't think it's a championship after Alabama. I think it's a semi.
But the semi, it's weak.
And it's going to be Tennessee, Florida, or like unless something crazy happens, which is trash. They could beat them, and then
Arkansas and LSU are the 2 and the 3 on the other side.
Yeah, so it's like only one I was worried about was Arkansas, and obviously Alabama I'm worried about, but like
No, but Bama, if they miss threes, can be beat. That's the
Yeah,
thing. They rely
100%.
so much on their shooting, they can beat anybody, but they can kind of lose.
3,000. Why not?
Yeah, Kentucky also, it's in Nashville, which is kind of close to home. They're
Yep.
familiar with it. No, I can see it. They finally played good Saturday and blew
I know.
South Carolina out 92-64. My boy Davion Mintz, dude, bombing threes, made 6 threes. I didn't know our lineage extended to the basketball court. You learn something new every day on that front. But we're going to run through the conference tournament odds and make some picks. I think that'll be kind of a fun thing. Ev, also want to mention, you're a UFC guy. Did you have any reaction to the UFC card?
Yeah, honestly, wild in a lot of ways. I mean, the first one, obviously, with Peter Yan was crazy. As a Peter Yan better, disgusting loss. I mean, it was just an inexcusable mistake. There was a lot of talk about the corner, and they actually had audio from the corner he's clearly on. So a rule for non-UFC guys, you cannot knee someone in the face when they have any part of their body essentially on the ground. Even like if they have like both their arms even on the ground, you can't touch them, or you can't knee them. I mean, he just blasted him like full frontal with a knee square to his face.
But he asked his corner, right?
So he asked his corner, and it's crazy. They have like the audio, and so the reason they even had it in the first place was Khabib was over there, and he speaks the same language. So he literally went over to the broadcast and was like, yo, one of the cornermen literally was like, yes. And he just blasted him with the knee. You hear one of the corner guys is like, no, like only punch. Like, do not kick him. And then the other guy's just like, yeah, do it. And he just fucking blasts him with a knee. Very end of the fourth round, he was clearly winning.
I mean, it wasn't even
like
that close.
it was competitive, but like he was clearly winning the fight. Like I would have been shocked if Aljo did something to like turn it around. So that happens, and it's so weird on so many levels with the UFC because it's a title fight. So now you have to give this guy, literally put the belt around the other guy when he clearly lost. It's also crazy because it has so many domino effects to it where then the next, now it kind of stalemates the division because now like a number one contender that was going to get the next shot, now they just have to run the fight back over again. And it's crazy financially because when you're the champ, when it's pay-per-view, you get a piece of the pay-per-view. So now, like, it just flipped the whole thing. So now, like, Aljo gets a piece of the pay-per-view. Like, it has so many different effects, like, down the line. That was crazy. Then, obviously, Adesanya losing was crazy. But he definitely lost. Like, it wasn't like the judges' cards were way off, but he still clearly lost. It was crazy to kind of see him. Like, he just looked so invincible his entire time in the UFC.
But let me ask you
a
question.
The weight finally caught up to it. The weight was just too much. The discrepancy in size. He's legitimately in there, like, this guy's 205 that's probably walking around like 230. And Adesanya is literally walking around at 200, and that's literally what he fought at. The weight was just too big.
When he got on top, you could tell, and that's what Adesanya said. But so that entire fight, I don't care who, like, that was the most boring fight. And I know people are like, oh, you're not a UFC fan, just respect the art. It's like, it was boring. I don't really care what anyone says.
I was trying to be entertained.
I was trying to be. I'm okay with it. I paid for the fight. I don't give a fuck. That that's what you get with the fight. You're not getting a knockout every time. It's like, well, we getting rough and rowdy. But like the ending was pretty. It was a little entertaining when he was on top of him doing it. But like, I think I was disappointed because it's Adesanya. How to say
yeah, Adesanya. Yeah,
he's a crazy motherfucker, and he just wasn't a crazy motherfucker because he knew he couldn't be. Because he was gonna, like, if he went on that ground, he got knocked out. Like, he couldn't get out of that position.
Yeah, he's someone I wouldn't consider him like a crazy motherfucker. He's just the two of them, I think it's one of those things when you have two like elite strikers like that, it just becomes like a chess match a little bit. Especially when you have Adesanya, who it's like his length and kind of just his like precision that Jan's worried about, and that Jan Blachowicz, I know there was kind of two Jans on the card. And then he's worried about Jan's power, that he knows he's never faced anyone in the UFC with that type of one-punch knockout power. So it kind of became a little bit of a chess match where, like, he didn't want to get in the pocket with Blachowicz because he knows Blachowicz has that one-shot power. But also, Jan, he doesn't want to sit there and have Adesanya just pick him apart from the outside because he can do that all day long with anybody. Like, the guy was a 75-4 kickboxer. Like, he's battle-tested. Like, he doesn't lose often. He's fought a million times. He rarely loses. He lost. It was tough because I'm such a big fan of him. And he's like becoming that next like big star. So
personalities too is awesome.
That's what I'm saying. He was like the next like big star, and this really hurt because this would have led to finally. There's been so much hype with him and John Jones, And now I think this put all that to bed because I think this made it so obvious that John Jones would absolutely maul him.
Mm-hmm.
Especially now that John Jones is getting even bigger. Now he's going to fight heavyweight. I mean, he'd put Adesanya on his back every round, and he would have zero chance to get up. And it would just be.
And
over.
it's National Women's Day today.
Happy International Women's Day.
Nunes is just
She's the best fighter, like, period.
So her 4 losses were before she was even in MMA, right?
So you see, no, it's MMA, but it's crazy now that I've seen it. I think it's so different than boxing, where like in boxing they try to baby you along so much, and they just don't want you to lose that 0 on your record. In MMA, they don't care.
Yeah.
Like Jorge Masvidal is one of the biggest stars. He has like 14 losses. He also has like 38 wins. But I'm saying these guys, like when you're young, like you're not as good and you lose, and then like you get better, and then now like no one, like she might have 4 losses. They were 10 years ago. Like, no one's going to beat her now. Literally, no. I don't, like, there's no woman.
She had no. Did you see what's her name walk in the arena? She knew she was dead.
Oh, I mean, she's a minus 1,000 favorite for a reason. Because, like, she's not going to lose. She's literally almost like I used to hear rumors, like, back in the day when Tyson was in his prime, people flying to Vegas to put, like, $1 million on her to win 100,000. Amanda Nunes should literally be that type of business investment. She is a sure thing.
Wow.
Sure. Like she's like this girl walked in, she hit, and this girl is the biggest girl she ever fought. 5 inches taller, a legitimate featherweight. There's really no featherweights anymore at 145 for women because there's just none that could really compete. Like the only one that was really, really good, she just knocked her the fuck out. Dropped her like 3 times first round, fight was 50 seconds, game over. She just there's no one on planet Earth that's a woman that's gonna beat her.
No.
Like she's just too good. And now it's at that point where she has this aura of like they're legitimately intimidated. She hits so fucking hard. Like you saw in the fight, like she hit her that first time and it was like she just was like, I've never been hit like that.
Yeah, no.
Like you just see the lights, like it's like a deer in the headlights. You just saw her facial just change.
Yep.
She gets hit with one shot, like it's different.
She's unbelievable.
She could have won that fight any way she wanted. She could literally pick how she wanted to win it, the time, anything. She's that dominant.
Yeah, that's impressive because UFC you don't see that as much. It seems like the underdogs can win more.
For sure. But
like Ronda Rousey was at that point at one point, but then when what's her name knocked her, and then she like went downhill. Like there is not even a question that Nunes could like go down.
Oh no! Well, so Nunes fought Ronda Rousey too and absolutely annihilated her.
Yeah.
Well, Ronda Rousey was strictly putting people in like arm bars and shit, and then she finally fought someone that could box, and she got knocked the fuck out.
Yeah.
And that was Holly Holm. And then Nunes fought Holly Holm and knocked her the fuck out, and then knocked every other good girl the fuck out, and then now she just cleaned out any girl that had any talent. She's knocked them out pretty much. Like she's just unbelievable.
She can't fight again.
She's like, it was funny. DC on the broadcast making jokes. He's like, she literally just like coming here just fleecing out of a paycheck, and Dana White's like, whenever she wants to fucking fight and collect, she can. Like,
yeah.
Because she is legitimately exciting to watch. Like you're getting a big finish, highly likely.
Do you have anything else on the card you want to comment on?
Not really. Those are the two, like, those three were the three kind of like big things. It was the Jan Sterling fight was just so weird. Like just with the belt tied into it, everything was just so weird.
I feel bad for him too. Like,
I feel bad for both of them kind of.
I'd rather just lose than have.
No, Aljo like sucks because it's like he knows he was losing. And like that knee, if he could have kept fighting, he would have. I mean, he got blasted with a knee. Blasted. Like he clearly, like I saw TJ Dillashaw, who was the guy who used to have the belt, who he's been out with steroids for a while. He's finally like probably gonna come back soon and fight somebody. He was like saying he was acting and all the shit. I was like, yo, this guy got smoked with this knee. I don't think he was acting. He legitimately was like, what the fuck is going on right now?
Yep.
Like anyone who watches that video, a clean knee, swear to his fucking face. Like brutal without really like any, like he never really any guard because he was thinking he wasn't gonna hit. He was on the ground. Yikes. Brutal. It was just brutal. Weird card for like a really exciting card leading up to it. Kind of a weird, like the way it was, especially because the preliminary card was unbelievable. So it was weird. Kind of the main card definitely did not deliver.
Some other stuff I want to make sure we touch on the weekend. I saw the end. Bryson DeChambeau won the Arnold Palmer Classic. He was pretty fired up and emotional. Made a heck of a putt, kind of a mid-range. I mean, it wasn't an easy putt to win after Leah Westwood made a good putt on 18 to force it, but big win for him. Also, NBA All-Star Game.
Wait, did you guys hear?
Go ahead.
10 seconds into that video, someone yelled Marty Mush.
I did see your clip. I think someone definitely said Marty Mush. For sure.
I was listening to it. Some kid DM me was like, "Yo, listen to 10 seconds." Someone yelled Marty Mush, and I was
You
like,
want to send it to me? I can play it on the air.
yeah, send it to
Well, so what was weird was DeChambeau was getting ready for his final putt, and he kneeled down and got set up, and then he kneeled down again, and just everybody booed him on the course. It was like so funny, dude. Everybody just like started booing him. I was like, oh my god.
I don't know. Like
he's
care,
definitely
man.
a heel golfer.
He's fucking
Well,
awesome.
he's just a nut. Like he's just an absolute
Dude,
nut.
you see that water? There's no chance you're like, yeah, I'm gonna go hit this over the water, and he just whacks it. It's awesome.
He swings so aggressive too.
Yeah, and like when he was going nuts, like you don't see it from golfers. It's always just like, oh, okay, good shot, move on. It's like, no, he just fucking whacks.
He just absolutely torques. Like he puts his entire body into swinging that golf club.
Yeah, and also like he backs it up too because he just wins. Like he's just
a little crybaby bitch sometimes. Too.
Oh yeah, no, but that's why I almost like it too.
And that's where he's headed, just a little bit right of it, but this ball appears to be hammered.
Try it.
He definitely said Marty Mush. When you tweeted it and I watched it the first time, I was like, he definitely said Marty Mush.
I watched the video.
I don't know what else that
just to watch it, and then I was like, some kid DM me was like, yo, I think he said your name. I was like, what the fuck?
I mean, Marty going to the PGA Tour.
Oh yeah,
going worldwide.
Big golf guy. I actually love golf. I just don't like to tweet about it because I don't understand how to. I just like watching it.
I watch the Sunday. I watch the Sunday. Sundays are great.
Yeah, I watch Sunday like a big tournament, or like if Tony Finau's in, I just live through Kobe.
Yeah.
Usually I'll jump on him live. And I'll just live through him.
Oh no, I always hope Finau doesn't win.
I want Kobe to get one. I don't even care he's not there.
I'm glad he's not. I didn't know if he was even in there or not.
He just has been so loyal to this fucking guy. Can this guy win one fucking golf tournament?
But he gets top 5. He's like the best ever to bet top 5, but never wins.
One fucking golf tournament.
Yeah, it's not even like Kevin Kisner that the foreplay guys are so always with. It's like because he's always in like 20th. Like he's a good golfer, but he's never up there. Like Finau's always top 5.
I mean, I don't know where the rankings are. He's got to be like top like 10, 15 in the world. With just how much he finishes in the top. He has to be.
Well, when a transition for a sec toward the NBA All-Star game, I guess it was night because it's usually the weekend. But I do want to touch on I watched the slam dunk and the 3-point, and I thought the slam dunk competition wasn't. I mean, it was pretty good. I mean, it was me. Y'all know me. I'm
the
like
Cassius Stanley dunk was better than a 40 whatever.
Yeah, I thought it was.
The judging was a little interesting.
It was weird because I think what's Cassius Stanley, I thought his was the most like, if you had never seen anyone dunk a basketball before, and then you saw Cassius Stanley's, I thought his was the most like electric, even the way he put it down. But it's just a dunk that I think everyone's kind of seen before.
But Grayson Allen even said it too. Like I know I'm saying Grayson Allen, but he tweeted like, it's so hard to jump off that foot and put it through that leg.
No, for sure. I thought Obi's, honestly, the first round, I know like I'm a Knicks guy. I thought Obi's was the best just because it was so like you hadn't seen anyone do that before where they throw it like down and then like to themselves and catch it like on the way up kind of thing, how he did it. So I thought that was kind of unique. I honestly thought once the second round came or the championship round, I honestly thought Obi should have won. Like I just thought Simons, that final dunk he did was not that impressive at all.
No,
he didn't. It was like a fake.
I mean, he was like going up, and yeah.
Like I don't see what's so impressive. Like I feel like anyone with like hops could do that, and they all have hops. Like I just thought anyone could.
It was
have done
kind of a dud ending.
Like I thought Obi. I didn't think Obi's was like crazy special. We essentially saw Levine do that same dunk to win it, but even probably from like a little further back, like a couple of years ago. I just thought it was better. I mean, it is what it is. I didn't think it was that exciting. The 3-point contest was good. I mean, Steph winning after he missed the first 4 in a row. Also, I had many units on him to win, and I was freaking out when Conley hit like a 28.
Yeah.
What'd you have him at even money?
No, plus I think I got 120. I think I actually got 120, and then I hit him again. I caught like 115. It was so chalk because it was like he was plus like 115, and then everyone else was like 400 or higher. Mm-hmm. But I was like, yo, this is like a pure shooting contest. Like, how can he lose? And he came through.
He did.
Him hitting the last, like when he missed and then he literally, it was hit the last 2 or lose and he buries both of them. That was sick.
I thought he was about to win the 3-point and the All-Star MVP. Came up just short to Giannis.
He should have.
I thought he was going to win it.
If Giannis didn't bank the 3, he would have.
Yelled at from the back before we get into March Madness again.
Yes.
It's March Madness time. We're making up for last year's tournament getting canceled by going bigger and harder this year. Luckily, our favorite sports drink, which is our favorite sports drink, because first of all, that branding on that bottle,
Gorgeous.
just like if I see that in a freezer in like a store or something, I'm grabbing 6 of those. Like
gorgeous.
Berry Blitz
And Power Punch.
Are you
the alliteration?
If I'm going
Power
to gamble
Punch?
and I want to power punch something, I'm going to get a power punch and then fucking go positive. Our favorite sports drink is Bodyarmor just launched a sports drink plus caffeine called Edge to help us get our edge. Get an edge on the competition with our favorite sports drink plus caffeine, Bodyarmor Edge. My favorite flavor I've actually got to try some is Tropical Chaos. These names are unbelievable.
Fantastic.
Even Edge, too, is such a good name. Like,
just a little edge. Just
especially when you're gambling, too. Like, I need a little edge.
You need your edge. Gotta have an edge.
Yeah, it's got 100 milligrams of caffeine, same as a cup of coffee. That's what people need to realize. You're drinking coffee every day. You might as well drink one of these. Has B vitamins, antioxidants, coconut water. Comes in 4 flavors: Berry Blitz, Tropical Chaos, Power Punch, Orange Frenzy. It tastes fantastic. So yeah, you can pick up one today. It's on from 7-Eleven. You could even do it on Amazon. So thank you, Bodyarmor.
I love Bodyarmor.
I love the enthusiasm of that read.
It felt good.
That was a good read.
Because it's real. Because we literally drink Bodyarmor every day.
It's always easy to do an ad when you really like it.
Literally drink it every day.
I felt
it's great stuff.
I felt the love.
Bodyarmor.
I've not tried
stuff.
the Bodyarmor yet, but I feel like you sold it very well.
Oh yeah.
No, it's good, Mincy. It's good stuff. Good stuff.
Awesome. Some other stuff I wanted to touch on was this weekend. Before I want to look at these conference tournament odds because that's going to be really fun. People have been asking for it. I think today's a good day to get into that because the card tonight. I'll be honest, Marty, you mentioned it. I got one play tonight. This was not my favorite card tonight, and I had a great weekend. I didn't want to. Yeah, exactly. There's no NBA. When's NBA come back? Like Thursday?
I think Thursday.
Yeah, All-Star break's a little longer.
I think Thursday.
Honestly, who watches NBA this week anyway?
Yeah.
This is conference tournament week. I'm super excited about it. It kind of slowly gets rolling. There are a few games tonight. The West Coast stuff tonight, the West Coast Conference, it's BYU, Pepperdine, and Gonzaga.
St. Mary's.
St. Mary's. Gonzaga's 18. I think BYU's 9. Do y'all think BYU has any shot to beat Gonzaga in the championship?
No.
I don't
Zero.
either.
No. I really don't.
They have to play 2 games to win the championship of that conference.
I mean, it's a layup. Like it's an. I mean, it's
So
Unless
is
they
BYU,
just
but
don't
it's
play
like-
starters because they're already the one. But
No, I still think they beat them.
yeah,
Like BYU is like not that good.
No.
We're acting
BYU
like-
are they in the tourney?
Yeah, they're in.
they'll be in.
Just because they have to be pretty much from there, but like they're not that good.
No.
Yeah, that was kind of the other ones tonight. I saw Sun Belt Championship, Texas State, App State. I don't know.
Or no, Georgia State.
No, I'm sorry, Georgia State. Georgia State against App State.
Yeah, I did watch a little bit at the end of that App State Coastal game yesterday.
It wasn't as good as the football game between them. That football game
No,
between them
for
was
sure,
awesome.
for sure wasn't.
The
For
Drake
sure was not.
Loyola game was like I feel bad for Drake. I kind of want them to get in.
You think
They
will?
deserve
I
how
don't
good
know.
they've been.
I feel like the committee punishes the injury teams though.
I
now. They
think-
factor
They
that
literally
in.
lost.
I
They
agree.
pretty much lost their 2 best players. It's tough.
They did, yeah. They lost their 2 best players, but they still played well. And people were very mad at my sister Jean tweet that I forgot people don't take jokes well. Because like, oh, she donates it all. I'm like, shut the fuck up. I
Your
was
people are
mad.
insane.
I was mad they lost, and she charges $150. Still a lot. Even if she donates it, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, for Sister Jean.
Yeah.
Like, who gives a like? Imagine getting a Sister Jean shout out and being like excited.
Yeah, for $150, and
I'd be like, oh, she's still alive. Good for her.
Yeah, God, that's an accomplishment. After
100
this last year,
101.
after get after this last year in life, that's an accomplishment.
Honestly,
Yeah.
she probably hasn't left her house in a year.
Maybe longer.
Yeah, she might have just not left anyway.
Yeah, I'm 100. Who gives a fuck?
She might have not left the house since they were in
Since
that
the
Final Four.
Yeah.
2 years ago.
She had a big run. She exploded on American popularity. I kind of want to run through these conference tournaments. I know we kind of talked about this before. Just you don't have to make picks. Just any long shots, any thoughts. We'll start with the ACC because we kind of touched on West Coast already. ACC, the only one I had. Well, man, wow! I saw Georgia Tech at 20-1, but now I see it at 10-1 on the Barstool Sportsbook app. It just changed. I had Georgia Tech written down at 20-1 as a flyer. Now that they're 10-1, I no longer.
So I think there's a good amount of flyers in the ACC and
The top teams are kinda weak.
and the SEC. Yeah, because the top teams aren't so dominant. Like a Clemson 20-1 isn't crazy. Like they aren't like I know Florida like Virginia can get beat any night. Florida State can definitely get beat. And credit to me for not saying Duke at 20-1.
What about Syracuse 50-1? We've seen the Boeheim March thing before.
I just
They're
don't.
bad on offense.
I just don't like him outside of the dome. That's
Yeah.
my problem.
But yeah, I think that's the one flyer you would take is Clemson. I mean, Duke got a terrible draw. They have fucking Boston College. This is the first time Duke's played in the first.
Playing the intro game.
Playing an intro game.
They got their ass
I'm
beat
actually
Saturday.
10
You know
versus
what?
15.
I'm not even kidding. I'm kind of happy they're just getting a game in before they play fucking Louisville again. I honestly think they're going to beat Louisville and then get smacked by Florida State.
And that won't be enough, though.
I don't think it will
no,
be.
they got their ass beat.
If they
Saturday.
win, though, if they win all three of those games, you'll see the Blue Devils in the tournament.
I honestly think, I honestly feel like just putting someone on Duke 20-1 in this conference.
It's
is
not
like,
crazy.
It's like if I'm looking at all these,
I mean, just the jersey alone.
the one
Yeah.
that like the other one that like legitimately stands out to me is the one you already said, Mincy at Georgia Tech at 10-1.
But it was 20-1 a minute ago. I literally somebody must have put a bunch of cheese on them.
I still like them. Like they've just been red hot. They're kind of everything you look for in a tournament like this. Like they're clearly the hottest team. They, like you said, they're 10-1, but I don't know exactly what their draw setup is. Because to me, I think they're the most publicly like underrated team.
Yeah, they
Like
are.
I bet no one would know that the player on their team won ACC Player of the Year.
Yeah,
Like no one even knows who he is.
I know.
They've been winning games
hate
at
that
home.
guy.
They've been tough at home. I know they beat Florida State.
And it's funny because their coach Passer said the whole thing about how deep the SEC was, and that was at a time where like they had no shot to get in. They pretty much haven't lost a game since, and now they're like firmly. They could lose the first game, they'd still.
You'd have to be an idiot to put plus 600 on Virginia Tech.
No, oh my
It's
god,
a terrible bet.
that or see, it's like obviously like to me like if I had to take a chalk one, it would be Florida State or North Carolina, probably I guess.
North
but-
Carolina's not even chalk. Plus 425 is a good bet for North Carolina, I think.
Yeah, it's not like I guess it's not like chalk.
Tournaments in
but
North Carolina, still Greensboro.
Yeah, still
they're
Greensboro.
all-
And I mean, the Florida State, yeah, that's chalk, but like Virginia plus 225 is a terrible bet too.
Hell no. They have so much trouble scoring.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll run. No, it sounds like we don't have any that super standard. I was gonna do Georgia Tech 20-1 until the odds changed, but now I'm kind of. I might do.
I think I'm still gonna take a little something at 10-1.
I
I think I'm gonna take like one. You should try to take like one team in each conference. and
yeah, I'm
see how
kind
it
of doing
goes.
okay. In my strategy, just sharing with the listeners. Look, I don't take like the favorites at 2-1 or any of that, even though they're probably gonna win. All I'm looking for is long shot, fun sweats in these conference tourney bets. Finding 10, 20-1, having a team to jump on, $20 to win 200, whatever, 50 to win 500. Just low risk, buys me an interest, makes it fun. That's kind of how I look at it. All right, Big Ten tournament. Can't wait to hear thoughts on this one. Michigan plus 175, Illinois plus 375, Iowa 425, Purdue 5-1, Ohio State plus 685, Wisconsin 11-1, and Michigan State 50-1, Rutgers 25-1. Anybody got any thoughts on this one?
I think Michigan State 50-1's worth just a little gander.
On principle, that's kind of I was thinking too. Kentucky, Michigan State.
They've-
Like,
I honestly think like
Michigan
I honestly don't
State-
think it's worth betting on the Big Ten tournament.
I don't think so. Michigan State, they've just shown they can beat the good teams.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why at 50-1, I think it's worth throwing something on a prayer. If I had to take one of the like higher ones for me, like you said, like I don't want to take like Michigan plus 175.
No.
If I had to take like a higher, like under 1,000, for me, it honestly would probably be Purdue at 5-1. And I think there's a reason they're 5-1. I just think they're built to win these type of like tough, grinded out games.
I think I'm going to put $10 on Michigan State, 50-1. And then Cliff DiMartino in the chat just donated $5 and says, "Anyone thank Mitzi for the Michigan State money line shout yesterday." Awesome, appreciate that.
Let's go.
Man, I don't know. All these other ones, though, it's tough. Purdue 5-1, Illinois plus 375, Michigan. I just don't know if there's any really. This is such a deep conference that it's hard to find really any value because there's 5, 6, 7 good teams.
Yeah.
TJ, Rutgers got any shot at making a run at this?
It's the Big Ten, Mincy. Anything can happen any night.
Absolutely not. They're gonna get routed by Illinois.
And
so,
Duke's not making the tournament, Marty.
Yes, they will.
Cry.
Just watch. So I think Iowa's a good bet because they play the winner of Nebraska Penn State plays Wisconsin. And then whoever wins that, which will probably be Wisconsin, I could even see Penn State upsetting them.
I've been talking Penn State all year. They're scrappy.
And then if whoever wins Penn State, Wisconsin, Iowa's definitely going to beat. And then it will just be Illinois, Rutgers, or Indiana. So like that's not a bad. It's Illinois and Iowa. I think Iowa's a good play there too.
like I said, I don't have too much to add. Ohio State at plus 685. They're just reeling to me. You said you don't like the draw at the 5.
No, it's a bad draw. Just everything's bad with Ohio State basketball right now. It's
a bad draw. They got Minnesota.
I said they have to play Purdue. Like if they win, they've already lost to them twice. I've already said they really do not match up with them well. Just everything. If they had got the double bye, I thought they would have been like they would have kind of drew a nice spot there where they would have had to play probably Michigan in that like semis, which would have been better. But I don't love it. If I'm just being honest, it's just tough to get behind a team that like in a spot where you need to get hot when they've been cold.
Yeah, the problem is you want to be peaking at the right time, building momentum, and it feels like maybe
we're the exact opposite.
Yeah, y'all hit y'all's peak about 3 or 4 weeks ago.
We're backpedaling hard.
That's what concerns me too. All right, Big 12. Baylor minus 134.
Great Flyers in this.
Kansas plus 325. Texas 7-1. West Virginia 7-1. Oklahoma State 8-1. Texas Tech 10-1. Another team, Ev. I just came and asked you about it in the office. I saw Oklahoma at 50-1. I was like, man, that might have some value. But you said they're real.
I think they're dead, but you
50-1.
50-1 sprinkles like whatever. Yeah, you can, but like I think they're dead. I don't think they can beat these teams. But like a Texas Tech or Oklahoma State 10-1.
Oklahoma State's on a roll.
Oklahoma State's the best bet in the conference.
Crazy. I think
I'm getting on 8-1.
I like Texas Tech as well. I know they keep throwing, and they actually haven't had any great wins. They keep throwing duds up, but I don't think that's a bad. But yeah, Oklahoma State plus 800 is definitely the best bet there.
I've weirdly kind of like
y'all look at this draw, the Big 12 draw.
No, yeah, I got it.
I haven't asked with Oklahoma State. I don't even really care what their draw is.
So Oklahoma State plays West Virginia again,
ooh,
right away, and then they play Baylor. So it's a tough draw. As a tough draw.
That honestly makes sense because I thought they'd be higher than 8-1.
To be honest, Texas Tech is a better draw where they'll either get Oklahoma or Kansas if they beat Texas, and they could definitely beat Texas.
So Oklahoma and Kansas are playing each other.
Well, Oklahoma's playing Iowa State, but yeah, they're probably going to beat Iowa State.
Kansas, look, this thing's in KC still, I believe. Usually this tournament's in KC. It seems like Kansas always does good at home in this thing.
Yeah, but I just feel like if you're gonna pick someone, you'd rather pick someone on the other side of the bracket of Baylor right now. Because I mean, Maceo Teague last night just 10 of 12 threes, hit 10 threes. You can't. If I wish he would have told me he was going to do that before I bet Texas Tech money line. But yeah, I think taking that other side of Baylor is a great bet for Texas Tech.
It's fair. I think in my brain, I feel like I've weirdly kind of given up on Texas Tech. Like I feel like the hype around them has been so much bigger than what they've actually done in the court. Like I feel like they really aren't even just that good of a basketball team.
No,
they have like 9 losses.
Yeah,
like the Big 12's
like
deep,
I've made arguments both sides. Like I've said in the Big 10 how pretty much, or even just in college basketball this year, pretty much if you're not one of the top like 3 teams, you have at least like 6 losses.
Mm-hmm.
But still, I just feel like they've had so many of these big games where you think like they're gonna go get one and they just don't. Like they lost a heartbreaker to West Virginia. They were winning most of the game. I remember I got blessed. I got them plus 1.5. They were literally winning the whole game and lost on like a last second West Virginia basket. But I don't know. Like they're super well coached. So I'm always down to ride with a Chris Beard, especially in this time in March. But I'm just not crazy about them. Like I think if there was I do think. So West Virginia's on the other side, or West Virginia's on Oklahoma State's
West Virginia, Oklahoma State, and Baylor are all on one side, and the other side's Kansas, Texas Tech, and Texas.
Yeah, so I mean, if I would do probably Tech or Texas.
Yeah, that's the best. That's your best bet in the Big 12.
It's crazy how much
7-1, Texas Tech 10-1.
It's crazy how much Oklahoma's just died.
Texas Tech,
like they were 20-1 to win the national championship. Now they're 50-1 to win their own. Win the Big 12.
Wow.
Yep.
I mean,
I was flexing with my 40-1 national championship ticket when they're 15-20-1. They just look bad now. They just look like a different basketball team. I don't know what happened. They're just not. I don't know. They're worth like even maybe a flyer, I guess, in the Big 12. Like if you really want like a deep one, like they're 50-1. I mean, whatever. But they just that's another team. It's hard to get behind a team.
I might punt on the 50-1. Like I said, I think I might do like 1 unit each on these crazy just long shot flyers. And I know I'm gonna dust off 4 or 5 units, but if one of them, like Kentucky or Michigan State, gets a sweat, I mean, if somebody randomly wins it, you like win the month if you hit a 30 or 50 unit shot. So I'm kind of thinking about it. Big East tournament, Marty. I want to hear your thoughts on this because it seems like UConn's
Easy.
emerging, and Nova, especially after Gillespie got hurt. I was on Providence Saturday. Wasn't too surprised. Even though Providence tried to blow that game, that was
They should have blown.
that was ugly. I mean, they didn't score like the last 10 minutes.
I have one team that I think you should take in this, and I'm not like I'm not taking
still?
I'm not taking chalk. I'm not taking the UConn. They're the favorite to win at plus 200. Seton Hall plus 775. They got a great draw. They play in St. John's again, who they're better than. They lost on Saturday. Then they play Villanova,
who's beat up.
They got a great draw. They have Mamu, who's unbelievable. The Seton Hall is the one team I would take here. 200 for UConn's not worth it.
And that's also why I think, even though Glennie brought it up, I actually have been thinking about it already. St. John's, I think, is a good spot too because they're that same draw. They're the same.
Both.
They play. Yeah, you almost play. They're playing Seton Hall that first game, so they both kind of have a good draw. Whoever comes out of it, it might be worth throwing a little something on each of them.
St. John's used to MSG too. They play there a lot.
20-1. When Posh and they've beaten Villanova already at full health. If Posh Alexander's back, I'm telling you that guy is so fucking good. If him and Champagne are if Champagne's healthy, if Posh Alexander plays in this tournament, which I think he probably is going to, I think they're a good look too at 20-1.
I think I'm going to jump on that as my fault. Like I said, I'm doing the long shot flyers. I like what y'all are saying about that part of the draw being weak, and so I think I'm going to go with that. V-Nova, I mean, are they done? I mean, I know
they're done.
They're done in terms of winning a national championship.
Yeah, they can win.
I still think they could. I still think they
maybe. Yeah.
I don't know. I think they're going to be a popular team that people fade in those opening rounds.
Yeah, I could see
that
them
always scares
out.
me. That always scares me though when too many teams are get behind like a dog or get against a big favorite kind of thing.
And Creighton's all fucked up in the locker room with what McDermott said.
Yeah.
That's just not what you need going into conference tournament. I think it's Seton Hall or St. John's.
Y'all can laugh at me, but is Butler at 81 worth the flyer? Just because they're young, they're playing a bunch of freshmen, but they did beat Villanova down the stretch. They're playing better down the stretch.
Do you call,
80-1.
Villanova?
Villanova.
I don't think I've ever heard him call
You say Nova.
Say Nova. Look, I'm a Southern guy. I'm sorry.
I don't think I've ever
Not
heard
Vino.
that.
I owe y'all.
Villanova.
Villanova fans owe you an apology. You now can join Virginia Tech and Appalachian State. As 3 teams, I've screwed up the pronunciation. I'm sorry.
Butler's terrible.
Yeah, I don't think so.
It's a waste of money.
Okay, no,
it's just hard for me to see them winning 4 of these games in a row.
What about Marquette? 60-1, no shot.
They have talent,
60
but
to
still,
1?
I don't think so.
They have talent, but I don't know.
I'm just.
And
I know a lot of people have Providence. They're 30-1 now. They were 40-1.
Because I'd rather Providence than either of those teams. I think Providence has more real chance.
Just beat Nova too.
See, it's tough for me because this is a conference where I just really, really believe UConn's just going to win it. I just think with the team they have in the court right now,
momentum, big night.
is significantly better than any other team. I really think they even have the best team to make a run in the tournament. It's going to be interesting how high if they win the Big East. It's going to be interesting how high of a seed do they get. So I've even seen them up to a 7 in some places. Now it would be crazy. They go make a run, win the tournament. All of a sudden, they were looking at a team that only played 20 games, missed a bunch. Book Knight was out a bunch of the year, and then all of a sudden they end up a 5-6 seed. They'd be dangerous. Really, if this was either a 6 and get a 6-11 and then a 3, they'd be real dangerous.
my take.
I know you're anti-UConn.
Anti-UConn, not for the tournament because I think the tournament's their conference is trash, but I don't think they're going to make a huge run. We're talking about on Bench Mob. It was it's almost scary to be one of those higher seeds because there's going to be so many blue blood types and teams that you just don't an LSU or a North Carolina being what?
An 8 or 9?
I don't want to be a 1 seed playing UNC in the second round.
No.
It's they have nothing,
get fired, yeah.
really nothing to lose, but and that's just an experienced coach. You don't need that. It's scary.
No, I think it's going to get, especially like you said, that second game is going to get crazy.
So yeah, second game is going to be nuts.
Get real crazy.
Couple more conferences I want to get through here, and then we're going to make our picks for the day. Mountain West, San Diego State plus 125, Utah State plus 245, Colorado State plus 370, Boise 4-1. Everybody else 25-1 or higher. Any thoughts?
Nevada 25-1. I think is the best.
That was that was a hell. By the way, what an ending on Friday night.
Crazy. And
crazy.
By the way, Rico's not here to face music, so we had this Mountain West talk. He's 0-3. I'm 3-0 in Mountain West. And we didn't go opposite each other. We blindly I said these are the picks I like. Those are the picks he likes. Mine are 3-0. His are 0-3. That's just a fact.
Nevada 25.
It's just true.
It's a fact.
It just
There's
happened.
nothing you didn't
It just happened.
spot the lie.
All right, no,
But I'm already on Colorado State. I got it 5-1. They're plus 370 right now. They can shoot. I'm telling you, Colorado State's a legit team. But
they need to win too. You guys keep saying they're good. They're gonna get in. They're on the bubble.
The
Nevada loss
loss
was not
hurt.
good.
No,
I
that
know,
hurt.
that's what I'm saying.
And that's why I was on Nevada. I almost was like emotionally hedging myself, where I was
Mm-hmm.
like, I've been so high on Colorado State all year. I think they're gonna be fine. I think as long as they go to like the semis, I think they'll be fine. But it's gonna be close. It's definitely gonna be close for them. But Nevada 25-1, I think, is the best. Like
that might
flyer.
be my flyer. Like I said, I'm going to do a flyer from each. I'll release. I guess all these tournaments start on Wednesday.
No, tomorrow.
Yeah, a lot of them tomorrow, because tomorrow you get like those like the Dukes.
Don't say
the
the
Dukes.
shit
You
games.
get the 10 versus 15s.
It's the warm up game.
The 10th place in the ACC versus last
If
place.
I will tell you this, if Duke loses to Boston College, I will not talk about
Boston
college basketball the
College
rest of the
is
day.
so fucking bad, so
I
bad.
saw that Florida State game last week.
If they lose to Boston College, Coach K should have to be forced to retire.
I agree.
Like that would be just. You want to talk embarrassing season?
I agree.
This Boston College team is like 4-19.
Yeah.
Like
Fire
they're
the coach.
god awful.
And it shouldn't be
God
that bad. Like your Boston College shouldn't be that bad.
They're bad, really bad.
We had 3 left to get through. Pac-12, Oregon has emerged. They're plus 175. They covered at Oregon State. They've been red hot down the stretch. We've talked about Dana Altman in March. USC plus 235. Colorado 3-1. UCLA at plus 550. Everybody else 15-1 or higher. I actually don't hate UCLA at plus 550 here.
I think USC is gonna win it.
Okay.
The entire thing. But yeah, I think UCLA is like the only like flyer you should take. Stanford's like the only one where you could like they've been hurt and they've been
I was like,
struggling.
if Oscar De Silva's back for Stanford, maybe,
Yeah.
but
like this is not really a flyer. Like UCLA is probably your flyer one you want to take.
That was what I was thinking, just because the value. Boy, that was a crazy ending in UCLA USC. Man, I keep saying crazy endings. There were a lot of them over the weekend, but that was kind of a nuts one.
Wait,
UCLA was winning that game the whole way. Blew it at the end.
That Memphis-Houston one, did you listen to the sound? How loud was that backboard? It sounded like a video game almost.
crazy.
It was like,
I was watching.
what bounce it's got. But yeah, keep going.
All right, we got the American, the SEC, and then our picks. I only have one pick today, so it won't take long. All right, American Athletic Conference, Houston minus 125, Wichita 2-1. Wichita won the regular season championship, but after Greg Marshall was forced to resign. Very impressive. Memphis plus 550, SMU 7-1, everybody else 35-1 or higher.
I feel like you just like the only one you could ever take is Memphis. Because you just saw that they could play with Houston. They're minus 125. Like everyone else isn't that worth it.
Yeah, I don't think any of them have a real shot that are.
I feel like we're heading for a Houston-Wichita.
Yeah.
We're out there. I feel like I will like Houston, though, if they play in the championship to get revenge. Houston lost as a 7.5-point road favorite. That was when Houston was frozen over and all that weird stuff was going on with that Texas Storm. So I can see a Houston bounce back if they play.
I'm not super high on Houston. I'm not drinking
their field goal defense.
I'm not drinking the Houston Kool-Aid. I'm not.
So their kind of calling card was their field goal defense is allowing people to shoot 36% per game, but like they play a bunch of crappy teams.
Like how you guys just brought up like a 2. Like I'm telling you, they are a 2 seed that I feel like has lose second game to a 7 seed written all over them.
Yeah, it's the same.
Especially like imagine if they get like I don't know what's that with UConn. Imagine like if they draw a UConn at 7. Like UConn might be favored in that game.
It's a Gonzaga effect. It's their conference is trash, and Houston beat Texas Tech early in the year, and they haven't had any
no one else
wins. So it's like,
I wish
and they have a
Houston
bad
was
loss.
They lost to Wichita. They honestly they should have lost to Memphis.
I think they lost another bad game too.
I wish they were in the Big 12. I think Houston. I would love to see how they would be able to do there. But I kind of agree. I don't think there's any value on that one. Finally, Southeastern Conference. Bama plus 220, Arkansas plus 320, LSU 5-1, Tennessee plus 525, Florida plus 575, Missouri 6-1, Kentucky 30-1, Ole Miss 40-1, and then everybody else.
Houston lost to Eastern Carolina. That was their loss.
That's who it was. I knew that.
Yeah, my only one this Kentucky here.
Arkansas plus 320 is not awful value.
No, especially with how hot they've been.
They're freaking scorching. They're going to play the winner of LSU and probably Ole Miss in the semi. I think that's a pretty good draw for them.
And because I'm especially these other teams behind them, like I'm not a Tennessee believer long
Hell
term.
no.
Like I'm not a Florida believer really long term.
Trey Mann being out. I had Florida yesterday. I still took them without Mann. They were up at the half.
Honestly,
Florida melted down on offense second half.
Honestly, I know it's like a little. I don't even hate like I still like. I don't think they're gonna win. Honestly, so it's like hard for me to give it out. Like I still like. I don't hate Mizzou.
6-1.
I don't like
hate
when
them.
Tillman plays. I don't hate like
I just
they're
hate
much
them.
better, but
I think they're a dud, that team. I don't know why. I can't stand
I don't hate
watching them.
LSU 5-1 total. Well, they got to get through Arkansas in that semi. I don't,
that's why it's like if you're gonna take the 5, that's why even with Mizzou that like 6, I'm almost like if I'm gonna go that
The only
short.
answer is Kentucky.
Oh no,
Kentucky
I like
or
Kentucky
Arkansas,
strong.
no.
I really like
If you're
Kentucky
gonna
strong.
go like sub like 6-1, it's almost you might as well just go
Yeah.
35
No,
with.
I could see. I
Arkansas.
see what you're saying, Marty. I could see Kentucky beating Bama.
100%.
I know. I could see it. I don't think Bama's some indefensible 1 seed. If Bama's missing their threes,
Kentucky playing a little better at the end of the season.
well, yeah.
They get a fucking 1 win under their belt, and then they play Alabama.
If they win that, though, all of a sudden you're like, I got them 30-1 to win 2 games.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
No, I like that one too. I don't feel. I know I'm an Ole Miss fan, but they're 10-8 SEC, 1-7 last night. I don't feel good about Ole Miss to make a run because they just have so much trouble scoring. It's hard to win on the road when you can't score. Let's hit our picks for today.
Before we get to the picks, let's talk to you about Stable Duel app. It's basically horse racing. So I've done it. It's horse racing, which is like fantasy football if they met. So basically, you select a stable, which is your team of 10 horses, and watch the points rack up. There are daily games where you can win big prizes. It's easy to use even if you're new to sport. That's huge too, because like you ever go to like a horse race and everyone's like, oh, let me box this, or like let me do whatever it's called. Confusing as shit. You got all the old bags using newspapers, got all the odds, you don't know what the fuck's going on. Stable Duel app makes it so easy where it's literally just like you pick your team and it's just what place they come in, it goes to points, and just watch your points rack up. It's fucking fantastic. So download Stable Duel app and start playing right now out of the gate. That's Stable Duel app, and then it's I don't know what else. Why not?
So it's like daily fantasy sports for horse racing.
Yeah, it's basically
Love
that.
it.
It's fantastic.
I'm going to quickly read the March leaderboard just because I'm going to enjoy my one moment of glory. I'm 28-19 plus 9.2 units. Brandon Walker, 20-15 plus 5.9 units. Big F, 33-27 plus 3.35 units. You're not even doing that bad, Marty. You're 20-20-1 at pretty much dead break even.
Yeah, the 1-5, I was on a roll.
Big Cat, 17-19 minus 3.55. And Rico Bosco, 17-23 minus 7.54. I only have one pick for today. I'm going to go really hard this week, but today I just did not look. I know we like to fire high volume. I'll just admit it. I'm not that familiar with all these smaller school games, and so I've got one pick, and that's what I've got. And I got Georgia State by 7 in the Sun Belt. That's all I got. What you got, Marty?
I just got Hofstra -5, Cleveland State -3.5, and I just have the over in Zaga.
Zaga's 18-point favorite over.
Yeah, I just don't want
tonight.
any tomfoolery at the end of the game. I just want points.
See a decent side. I've seen quite a few of these teams. So the one I've watched a lot of recently, the Horizon. That's Cleveland State. I got Cleveland State -3.5, and the over in that game 140.5. Big Cat said it last week, and it's so true. If you watch any of those crazy overtime games, they're literally the MAC but basketball. Just take the over. Shit's gonna happen. I've got UNC Greensboro -5 and the over in that with Mercer over 136. Then I've also got Hofstra -5, and I got Northeastern +2.
Let's go. New week.
I like Hofstra a lot. Hofstra's
Yeah, I like Hofstra
they've been,
too.
especially the last 2 years. This year they haven't been as much. I remember last year they were like unreal against the spread. And they're just listen. I'm a loyal gambler. Last year I remember Hofstra. They won the conference. I hit big on them to win that conference game. I'm on them tonight. Let's go.
Shout out Willie.
Shout out Willie
And Marcus Colston.
Shout out to Stephen Shea. Ran a 4.340 there at Hofstra. Fun fact.
Do you really?
4.4.
I saw his mock draft was out today.
Shout out fucking Max Delente too.
Who's Max Delente?
The camera guy with the long hair. He went to Hofstra as well.
Oh,
Philly Mays.
Oh, yeah. Well, he said just Max. If you
That's his
honestly,
name.
if you had just said Max, I would have been more. When you said Max Delente, I'm like, who? I'm like,
his
is that
name.
I'm like a basketball player.
What's this week going to be like around Barstool? It's going to be wild. I guess, are we watching the games here?
Tomorrow there's day games. Tomorrow, I think Duke plays at like 4:30.
There's a first
There's
game
a 2
tomorrow.
o'clock.
I
I think
think
it's
Miami Pitt.
Yeah, there's a 2 o'clock game. Tomorrow is when like
I love day basketball.
see tomorrow it starts, but then even really like Wednesdays when it like tomorrow it starts, but Wednesdays when it really gets like
Wednesday's 11 a.m.
We're like 11 to 11
Big Sky.
every day.
And then you got ACC at 12.
Everything.
Yeah, it's
Everything.
I just can't. I love it. It's just to me, conference tournament week. I mean, obviously the first and second rounds of March Madness are the best, but this is. I mean, if you like to gamble, this is an all-you-can-eat buffet all week. I mean, there are so many games, especially when these big conferences are in like the quarterfinals and round of 16. I mean, it's all the action you can handle.
Nonstop, Mincy.
I'm playing. I love it because I've got a little momentum headed in. Let's get this.
Yeah, I'm excited. That's big game for Duke tomorrow.
Big game.
Big day.
Tuesday afternoon.
I'm telling you that Florida, they're going to get my hopes up for Florida State, and then it's just going to kill
I'll
me.
get mollywopped.
I do think they're going to beat Louisville because it's tough to beat a team 3 times, and they beat them in overtime and by 2
But
points.
didn't we talk about in the show how that's just not true at all? How most teams, when they beat someone twice, they
80% in the last 10 years
No,
win
no,
the third
no.
game.
Yeah,
50% against the spread, 80% straight up.
No.
Don't tell the New Orleans Saints that because
No,
that playoff
it's
game
really-
against the Bucks
it's really tough.
Was a real problem. Thanks to TJ and Zah and Colby and all our crew. The Yak's up next. Brandon Walker back tomorrow. He was doing the AEW wrestling pay-per-view last night. Congrats to him. He had a huge week with that. He'll be here the rest of the week. And stay tuned for the Yak. Thank y'all for listening to Pick Central on the Barstool Sportsbook YouTube channel.